I'm Andrea Voran, and this is my God story. Growing up, my mother was Catholic and my father was Mennonite. It was an unlikely combination, and on Saturday nights we would go to Catholic Mass, and then on Sunday mornings we would go to a Mennonite service. Then when I was 7, my mother decided to leave the Catholic Church. Her large and staunchly Catholic family took this as a personal affront, and we became something of outcasts in our family. So already at age 7, I started associating the church with something that tears families apart. We started going to the Mennonite church only, and I quickly grew to love it, made lots of friends, and really grew in my faith. But as time went on, I started to put more stock in the church itself than in the mission of the church. When I was in middle school, the church split. Basically, there started to become fights over non-essential issues like whether to sing praise songs or to only sing hymns. I saw lifelong friendships get destroyed over issues that didn't really matter, and my family actually ended up being part of the group that left the church. This affected me greatly. I started to see the church as a place of brokenness, of petty fights, and of politics. Since we lived in a small town, we were running out of church options and ended up going to a Baptist church. I hated it from the start. I felt scrutinized and judged and just became really bitter about the church as a whole. I felt like the church did more harm than good, and since I had a personal relationship with Christ, I thought that I didn't really need a church because it had done nothing but hurt me. So since I was still in high school, I continued going to church with my parents, but I was really bitter and just became completely distant and shut off. When I was in high school, my grandfather heard about this and invited me to his church in a different town. And I started going and for the first time saw how a healthy church can function. I was able to develop a one-on-one relationship with the pastor and started addressing my bitterness and anger towards the church, and it was really a great time of healing for me. I went there for 2 years, and even though it was a wonderful experience, I knew it wasn't where I was supposed to end up. And I'm not sure how exactly I ended up at Eastminster. I had just seen the sign outside, and so after a few times of being too nervous to actually come, I finally got up the courage last year to start coming to Ecclesia. And I remember after the first service, I just went out to my car and I cried. And then I called my mom to tell her that I had finally found a place that was a tangible expression of everything I've learned about the church in the last 20 years, which is basically that it's not about the church, it's not about the denominations or the traditions or what you wear. It doesn't matter if you only sing praise songs or if you only sing hymns. The focus of the church was never meant to be on traditions and politics. It was meant to be on worshiping God and following Christ. And I just thank God every day for leading me not only to that realization, but also to a place where I can put it into action.